And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Take Aaron and his sons with him, and the garments, and the anointing oil, and the bull of the sin offering, and the 2 rams, and the basket of unleavened bread, and assemble all the congregation at the door of the tent of appointment. And Moshe did as Yahweh commanded him, and the congregation was assembled at the door of the tent of appointment. And Moshe said to the congregation, This is the word Yahweh commanded to be done. So Moshe brought Aaron and his sons and washed them with water, and put the shoulder garment on him, and girded him in the girdle, and dressed him in the robe, and put the shoulder garment on him, and girded him with the embroidered band of the shoulder garment, and with it he tied the shoulder garment on him, and put the breastplate on him, and put the urim and the tumim on the breastplate, and put the turban on his head, and on the turban on the front he put the golden plate, the Kadesh sign of dedication, as Yahweh had commanded Moshe. And Moshe took the anointing oil and anointed the Mishkan and all that was in it, and kadoshed them. And he sprinkled some of it on the altar 7 times, and anointed the altar and all its utensils, and the basin and its base, to kadosh them. And he poured some of the anointing oil on Aaron's head, and anointed him to kadosh him. And Moshe brought the sons of Aaron, and put long shirts on them, and girded them with girdles, and put turbans on them, as Yahweh had commanded Moshe. And he brought the bull for the sin offering, and Aaron and his sons laid their hands on the head of the bull for the sin offering, and it was slaughtered. And Moshe took the blood, and put some on the horns of the altar all around with his finger, and cleansed the altar. And he poured the blood at the base of the altar, and kadosh it, to make atonement for it. And he took all the fat that was on the entrails, and the appendage of the liver, and the kidneys with their fat, and Moshe burned them on the altar. And the bull and its skin, and its flesh, and its dung he burned with fire outside the camp, as Yahweh had commanded Moshe. And he brought the ram of the burnt offering, and Aaron and his sons laid their hands on the head of the ram, and it was slaughtered. And Moshe sprinkled the blood on the altar all around, and he cut the ram into pieces, and Moshe burned the head, and the pieces, and the fat. And he washed the entrails and the legs in water, and Moshe burned the entire ram on the altar. It was a burnt offering for a sweet fragrance, an offering made by fire to Yahweh, as Yahweh had commanded Moshe. And he brought the second ram, the ram of ordination, and Aaron and his sons laid their hands on the head of the ram, and it was slaughtered. And Moshe took some of the blood, and put it on the tip of Aaron's right ear, and on the thumb of his right hand, and on the big toe of his right foot. And he brought near the sons of Aaron, and Moshe put some of the blood on the tips of their right ear, and on the thumbs of their right hands, and on the big toe of their right feet. And Moshe sprinkled the blood on the altar all around, and took the fat, and the fat tail, and the fat that was on the entrails, and the appendage on the liver, and the 2 kidneys with their fat, and the right thigh. And from the basket of bread that was before Yahweh, he took 1 unleavened cake, and a cake of bread anointed with oil, and 1 thin cake, and put them on the fat and on the right thigh, and placed all these in the hands of Aaron and in the hands of his sons, and waved them as a wave offering before Yahweh. Moshe then took them from their hands, and burned them on the altar, on the burnt offering. They were ordinations for a sweet fragrance. It was an offering by fire to Yahweh. And Moshe took the breast and waved it, a wave offering before Yahweh. It was Moshe's portion of the ram of ordination, as Yahweh had commanded Moshe. And Moshe took some of the anointing oil and some of the blood which was on the altar, and sprinkled it on Aaron, on his garments, and on his sons, and on the garments of his sons with him. And he kadoshed Aaron, his garments, and his sons, and the garments of his sons with him. And Moshe said to Aaron and his sons, Cook the flesh at the door of the tent of appointment, and eat it there with the bread that is in the basket of ordination, as I have commanded, saying, Aaron and his sons are to eat it. Then burn the rest of the flesh and the bread with fire, and do not go outside the door of the tent of appointment for 7 days until the days of your ordination are completed, for he fills your hands for 7 days. Yahweh has commanded to do as he has done this day, to make atonement for you, and stay at the door of the tent of appointment day and night for 7 days, and you shall guard the duty of Yahweh, and not die, for so I have been commanded. And Aaron and his sons did all the words that Yahweh had commanded by the hand of Moshe.